So I thought I'd do a quick review of the coolers, or at least talk about the coolers that I got for my two Sea-Doos. As you probably know if you're watching this, the Fish Pro comes with the larger cooler. People have gone through the features, etc., so I won't redo that. But the top piece, I put this together the other day. It's an attachment that allows you to have a sort of a second area. The cooler comes with this large cooler and the lid, and what you do is you take the pins out, take the lid off of this, and then this is the piece that comes. I mean, I think it's like $300 or something crazy like that, Canadian. But what are you gonna do? They're charged it through the nose. They probably are only making a finite amount of number of them. But anyway, it allows you to have a separate area for your drinks or your lunch, and then if you're having bait or you're putting fish in the bottom one. It's pretty easy to install. You basically take this piece off, you put this piece on, you put the bolts back, they give you new bolts, and then you have to install a second piece here that clips into the lower part. So that's about it. And then the last part is, and it's kind of optional, I think, this is pretty heavy. They give you these straps that are sewn together and reinforced so they kind of bend in. And that's designed to prevent the thing from falling backwards. Now, without them, I tried to push on it, and it seemed pretty firm, but I could imagine that if you filled that thing with ice, Gatorades and waters and such on the top, that would weigh an awful lot. So I wouldn't want it to fall back. So I put these on. They have a pre-drilled hole on the top of either side, and they give you a stainless steel hex bit. I'd have to look up what the number is. I know it's not like the typical T3 for all of like the Hall things on the Spark. It's smaller. I'll see if I can look it up, and I'll put it a flash up when I edit this video. And then on the inside, you actually have to kind of measure, and you have to drill it into your cooler. And you know, you're dealing with a cooler that's, good grief, some crazy amount, even more than the Yeti. But go ahead and drill it in. They basically tell you about 1.5 inches down from the edge. They don't give you absolute instructions as to how far over. And this is curved plastic, so there's nothing precision about it or precise about it. But anyway, I drilled those in, and so this is now pretty firm, especially if it got into the wind. I don't really like the latches. I think you'd have to manipulate them. They come, the pieces come, these holes are more oval shaped, so you can have some play in it. So you could probably get it so that you don't have to push down on it. But anyway, from the number of times I'm going to be opening and closing it. And as you watch probably other videos, there's a little rubberized thing here. You can put whatever in there, tackle boxes, etc. One thing that is new this year is cup holders. I think the Sea-Doo came with one cup holder, the Fish Pro, because they have them up on the sides there. But I ordered a few other ones, so I had one on either side of my console, and then I put one back here on the edge. So this big cooler locks on to the rear deck. I think the Fish Pro is the only model of the Sea-Doos that comes with 2 link accessories stock. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the only one that has 2 link accessory on the back. There's one roughly here and one here, and you get in addition to the ski pylon disc. So on the back of this cooler,
down at the bottom, they have two little levers, and there's a little graphic stamped into the plastic that has locked and unlocked. And all you do with the lever is you lift it up and move it over, and it locks in position. And there's two of them. So it's really securely in there. The other thing that I didn't notice is that there's actually two drain plugs. There's a small piece that has a pin on the inside, like an arrowhead. It is pretty flimsy. Like if you try to pulled on these drain plugs while they're out, it would snap. So that's probably not the best. But even if they break, there's like a little loop. I'll take a photograph of it, and you could always replace it with something else. You get a stainless steel chain or something like that to make it. But it's nice the fact that they have two drain plugs on it. So anyway, when you're spending this kind of money, I wanted all the accessories, so I bought this lid, and it will get used, especially if you have some bait or you actually catch some fish, etc. I'm not a tremendous fisherman, but at least this will get me out on the lake. And the other thing too is you can use this as further storage, like a dry bag, and then you could have a smaller, use a smaller thing for cooler, so if you were going over to our friend's cottage on the other side of the lake, etc. And then for the tricks, for picnics and such, I bought a smaller cooler. Now this is crazy. I think this thing is like $300 and some odd. But it'll fit on the back of the tricks. I have some beers in here. I checked bottles. So bottles of ice, I think it'll take about eight bottles, maybe a little bit more, and a good amount of ice. And again, it has the link on the bottom. I don't know if, I'm assuming it's Martinized. Here in Northern Ontario, we're a long way from salt water, and these things will probably never see salt water, so I think they'll be fine. But that's going to go on the back of the tricks. So anyway, those are the coolers for your picnics and such. And yeah, tell me what you think of those coolers.